Greg Klote here from Halvorsen Klote Davis. One of the most asked questions I get is, how do you calculate pain and suffering? It's one of the most asked questions, and it's actually a formula to it, but it's a little weirder than you think. Let's walk through it. So on a personal injury case, you have damages, and that's kind of the amount of money that you're owed due to your injuries, okay? And there's two big buckets of damages. The first bucket, one, is economic damages. This is medical bills, receipts, lost wages, property damage, future medical care. You can count it. It's on a piece of paper. It's objective. You can see the actual number. That's economic damages. Bucket two is non-economic damages. This talks about pain, mental anguish, loss of enjoyment of life. You used to be able to pick up your son a certain way and now you can't, or you used to be able to sleep through the night and now you can't. They're real things. These are really the big things in a personal injury case that the insurance company needs to know. And the best way to let them know that is through documentation. This bucket is more of what people call pain and suffering. Now, ultimately, there's a couple different methods that people use. Some I like, some I don't. But one of the methods that people use is the multiplier method. And what they say is that you look at your economic damages, and then depending on the severity of the injury, you multiply it by 1.5, 2, 3. If you have a more severe injury, 3, 4, 5. And if you have a catastrophic injury, it may be a number that's much higher. The insurance company likes to use this, look at medical bills and stay very close to the medical bill amount. I think injury attorneys in the past used to stick pretty close to this formula, but found that it doesn't really have an exact science, and it doesn't really account for everything that the injured party is going through. Putting some multiplier on a number that doesn't necessarily indicate what that party went through. For example, if two people had the exact same injury, right? Let's say they broke their arm, but someone's bills were higher than the other. Does that mean that the person with less bills went through less pain, less suffering, they've recovered more? No. So it's not really the best way to go about valuing pain and suffering or your injury case. Another method that's used, it's a little less common, is kind of putting a per diem or a per day amount on the injuries that you suffered, right? From the time that you're injured to the time you've reached maximum medical improvement, and you kind of put amount on this daily rate, and you come up with it that way. That is probably one of the more difficult things to do. Some people do it and it's done. I don't think insurance companies follow that very closely, and I don't think it's necessarily the best indicator, but that is one of the methods that people use. Now, here's the real truth. Whether you use the multiplier method, the per diem method, or any other way, what these really are a way to anchor the insurance company to a higher level on negotiations. They usually start lower, and now you have some ground to work with between you to try to negotiate on your claim. But what really moves these numbers up? What really increases the value of your claim? The biggest thing is documentation. Documentation. What do I mean by that? Medical records, bills, pictures, recommended future care, photos, bruising, scarring, casts, surgery scars, estimates from doctors, testimony, personal statements, how many miles did it take you to drive to all your appointments? How much time did you miss? A life care planner saying that you're going to need XYZ expenses for the rest of your life because you can no longer do certain things. Documentation is going to be key in increasing the value of your injury claim. Whether you use any multiplier or per diem method, that doesn't really drive anything. Documenting everything and providing this documentation, like you're going to hit them right in the head with it at the insurance company, is the best way to up the value of your claim. Now, what brings down the value of your claim? We've talked about this in past videos. Gaps in treatment is number one. They look at it, and if you haven't been to the doctor in 30 days, or an appointment, or therapy, or MRI, or one of those things, that they put a red flag. If it's 60 plus, it's like a double red flag. They don't trust you. They think that you're faking it, which could not be true. We've had clients where they've tried to get an appointment in, and they couldn't get in for 2 months. So we have to be able to explain that to the insurance company show documentation that they called, got an appointment on this date, the first availability was another date. But gap in treatment is the #1 devaluer of an injury claim. Other things are not reporting all your symptoms and having inconsistent symptoms. You have back pain later, but at the ER you reported you didn't have back pain, or you said you had headaches, but you didn't note anything else. Those type of things will hurt your claim. Pre-existing conditions, if you don't disclose them, because then they think, oh, that's what your injury came from. But you could have had a totally separate injury from before, and that's not the cause of it. It could be the cause from the accident, and the doctors say that. But if you don't disclose it, it looks like you're hiding it. Social media post where you say that I'm doing fine, I'm better, here's the accident, glad I'm survived, I'm doing okay. They'll take that and run with it. They have people that look at social media all the time. And the last one, of course, we've talked about is settling before the picture is complete. Those are huge devaluers of your injury claim. Now, when you look at value too, there's also state laws in every state. Every state has different laws, and that could be a cap on non-economic damages, that could be different comparative fault rules where they could reduce your damages. This is why it's very important to talk to an attorney to assess your case in your state. They can look at everything and they can see, okay, these could be some issues that we have to deal with, but we know how to handle this. Ultimately, when you're looking at damages and pain and suffering, the best way to get the most value out of your claim is providing the most documentation that you can, giving it to the insurance company to justify your offer. And if they send you back a low offer, you use the documentation to justify why they are incorrect and why they valued your claim. Now, it's not an exact science. Every case is different. But if you have any issues, give us a call. Accidents happen. We can help. Halvorsen Klote Davis.